Right.
So money isn't everything in this world.
No,
Enthusiasm and determination and hard work, and bringing together a people. It's just fantastic. That's where the energy comes from, isn't it?
You know, it's one of those times that you see what someone has done and you think, that is a bloody good idea.
Yes.
Why didn't I think of it first? Do you know what?
That's a mouthful. It's wonderful.
If he was a soldier, his medals would be dragging on the floor now, wouldn't they?
Exactly. Yeah, and yet, just to think, a lot of people in this country probably never heard of the guy.
No, not at all. I don't know. See, the thing is, I got to know about Shades of Black by chance. I want to believe with the internet. A lot of people who go onto YouTube, and on Facebook as well. I think it's made people aware of other things that's out there that they probably wouldn't have known about.
Well, now you mention that, if people are really interested in this, when the show's finished or whatever, during the night, they must listen to GFM while we're on live, but go to YouTube, it's just Shades of Black show, and there's all sorts of excerpts, including interviews and all sorts with the man himself. So it's worth a look, just Shades of Black show on YouTube. But nothing happens by chance. There's a higher...
Anyway, 8 o'clock exactly like we planned. We were hoping we'd be able to get Mr. Kwapi T Vengesayi on the phone lines, and guess what? It has worked. So, GFM, we're going to be talking to the man behind Shades of Black. Mr. Kwapi T Vengesayi, you there?
I'm here.
How are you doing, man?
I'm great, and yourself?
We're doing all right. It's nice and sunny over here. What is it like over there?
Wow, I've been in an office the whole day, so I'm hoping it's sunny.
Cool. With me here is my co-producer, Chris Smallby. He's done a lot of work on what you've done. He's really researched you. I think if you need someone to write your biography, you'll be able to do that. We want to know, what inspired you to start Shades of Black?
Well, I think, with things like this, I think we all have ideas sometimes. So it's usually just you need that little push that makes you go through it. And with Shades of Black is, it's something where it was talked about, as black people sitting in a room, everybody's talking about their little experience, a cop pulled them over, that type of stuff. So it was inspired by little bits and pieces, and so you're putting together this little mosaic, and then eventually you have an idea, but not many people go through with it. And then I think it was just me saying going with it, and of course a surrounding cast of people who are on board. Sometimes it's people who don't even get what you're trying to do, but at least they trust you enough to go through with it.
But you see, going on now, we've learned that the Shades of Black is now a phenomenon. Would you consider franchising the idea to other parts of the world?
Of course we're willing to franchise, as long as it retains its essence. We don't want it to be another show that just reinforces stereotypes, black people doing flips on stage and...
Well, no, I gather that from some of the things I've read, the posts I've read, and the interview that you actually got on YouTube. The last thing you want is this thing losing its meaning. You'd rather see it die than lose its meaning. Just enlarge on the architect and where you're going from there then, and some of these awards that we were reading out just now.
I think sometimes what happens is, I think it happens to all of us, I think your intellect wants to take you in one direction, your passions want to take you in another direction, and your talents take you somewhere else. And usually you're trying to find, a cross-section where they all intersect. And, to me, this is still a journey. I don't know where I'm headed. I don't know where Shades of Black is taking me. I don't know where the architecture is taking me. But I'm actually considering going to law school. So, totally different direction from everything else I was doing. But, hopefully it all kind of works out.
I've read some of your stuff, your blogs, all the stuff. It's very interesting stuff on the net that you put on. I know there's a book deal coming, but before we talk about the book deal, I've got here something that you've recently published, and I'm going to ask, I'm not a very good reader because Chris is a very good reader. Chris is going to read that out.
So I come in on, there comes a turning point, I'm coming in there. Yeah. There comes a turning point with every nation and civilization where the status quo has to be reinvented. For one society, it was at the point where prisoner number 4664 was released from Robben Island, and for another, it was when a wall that stood between East Berlin and West Berlin was torn down. For a race, it was a moment when a man said, I have a dream. And for a way of life, it was when an openly gay man was elected into public office in the state of California. The precipice is that point at which we as individuals and a society have to change for the better or condemn ourselves to a tumultuous existence. It's that defining moment when right stands up to all that is wrong, and when what is just stands the ground against all that is unjust. And that is where Zimbabwe finds herself, the precipice, the point at which we can evolve for the greater good or condemn ourselves to the same cycle of misery that gave us Gukura Hundi, the Euro government, the unity government of 1987, the beast we fight today, Posa, Murambatsvina, armed youth militias, and so on. We are a nation held captive by a monster that continues to reshape and reinvent itself. Indeed, those that have betrayed the very virtues and morals that define us as a noble nation still cling to power, while the innocent find themselves clinging on to the illusion of a new era. We are a nation that clamours for justice, but yet we are governed by the unjust. A people that are in desperate need of hope, but yet their reality points to more misery and hopelessness. It points to torture and abductions that are still a part of Zimbabwe today, as they were before a unity agreement. A reality that points to corruption and the fall of seemingly incorruptible. A reality that points to a gross disregard of human rights and civil liberties, a reality that finds violent militias still active and mob justice still a part of day-to-day life as the innocent are forced to cower in the shadows cast by the vicious and heartless. The precipice is when you stop settling for the convenient answers given to you by the status quo and you start asking them the inconvenient questions. It's that moment when you realise you also have a role to play regardless of how small or large it may be. It's when you realise that this change does not come through violence because it makes us no better than they are, but rather it comes through an unwavering commitment to everything that is good and righteousness. It's that moment when you have to ask yourself, how can Zimbabwe get better when some of those who assigned themselves to the task of repairing it are actually the ones who made it worse? Sincerely, Kwapi. Copyright 2009.
Right, Mr. T. Vengesayi, when I read this particular article, I thought to myself, I've got to feature these tonight. I've got to feature it. And I read it and I thought, maybe it's a little bit too long. I've got to sort of edit it. But then I looked at each and every sentence, each and every word, every full stop, every quotation mark, every comma, and I thought, no.
You can't take it out.
You can't take it. No, it's perfect. It is, as a Zimbabwean, I look at it and it is, I can't put words, I can't express this in words, but I'm amazed because I feel I should be able to express myself the way you do, but I can't. And when people like you do it for us, it's something that's amazing. I'm frustrated as well. You've done a lot of things. That shows talent, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
So you are gifted, right?
You
are. You see, no praises for being modest, okay?
Well, he is a modest man. I've noticed that. He's a very modest man.
Well,
that is greatness. Modesty is greatness. Yes.
Yeah. And we all know that you're black, right?
Of course.
Yes. The next track is dedicated to you. It's called Young, Gifted and Black. I don't know if you've heard this track, but it's dedicated to you. So thank you so much, Mr. Kwapi T. Vengesayi.
Thank you so very much.
You
guys
do
have
go
a
well.
Good evening, I guess, right?
Well, over here, yeah, it is.
Yeah. A nice, warm, sunny evening.
Yeah. Oh, stay blessed, man. Enjoy it for me. Maybe I'm in England sometime.
Hope to speak to you when the book comes out, okay?
All right, great. Thank you, man.
All right,
stay listening.
Man.
Keep listening to us.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, that was Mr. Kwapi T. Vengesayi, the creator, director, and the brains behind Shades of Black, as well as so many other things. So this track is coming out to you, Mr. Kwapi T. Vengesayi, Young, Gifted, and Black.
GFM.